Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me. Today is going to be a foundation routine. I've already done one of these and that's my everyday foundation, and I use the Skin 79 BB cream and I will link that below. I still use that quite often. Today's is going to be the foundation that I wear when I want my makeup to last all day. So if I know I have a full 8 hours at work and then I'm going to go out directly after work, this is the foundation that I use, and what you'll be seeing in this video is the Smashbox BB cream. So if you're interested, please keep watching. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my Urban Decay De-Slick Oil Control Makeup Setting Spray. So I'm going to shake it up really good and then I'm just going to spray it just a few times on my face. And I'm going to let that sink in for just a second. Alright, now I'm going to go in with the Smashbox BB cream. I am in the color Fair, which is the lightest that they offer. And I have been applying this with two different brushes. The first is a Sigma Round Top Kabuki. This is an F82. This brush gives me a pretty thick, full coverage. And when I want something a little bit lighter, I've been using recently the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. And I've had this for about 2.5 or 3 weeks, and I'm really liking it so far. So that's what I'm using today. And this is gonna still give me coverage, but it's gonna be a lighter application than what that Sigma brush gives me. All right, I've just got a little bit of dot, and I'm just gonna start dotting it around my face. Okay, I'm gonna take my brush, and I'm first gonna start kind of a stippling motion and then just start buffing it in. So I'm kind of stippling it to get the product all over my face, and then the buffing action is just gonna make sure it blends really well and then give me that flawless coverage. I do like to take this right up underneath my eye as well, and this brush is super soft so it doesn't feel uncomfortable to do that at all. Alright, and then as I'm finishing up, I'm just gonna make sure and just buff right into my hairline so there's no line. I love the coverage that the Smashbox BB cream gives me. I feel like it really helps even out my skin tone, but my skin still looks like skin. It's not a heavy application of foundation. I think that's really important for anything that you want it to be long wearing. You don't want to put a big, thick, gloopy application of it. A lighter, thinner application is gonna last longer throughout the day. So if you've been watching my channel for a while, and probably what you can see, I do have a couple skin concerns, you know, covering the blemishes like normal, and then I also have some redness right here and then my under eye circles. My current favorite concealer would have to be the Makeup Forever Full Cover Concealer. I'm in the lightest shade number 1 because I'm primarily applying this in my under eye area, which I want it to be light and bring some lightness to my face. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply that next. So a little of this concealer goes a long way, and I'm probably gonna be applying more than most people, but this really is my biggest concern, and I love this Makeup Forever Full Cover Concealer because I already have a couple big lines right here, and I don't find this settling in throughout the day, and I can't say that about a lot of concealers. So I'm first just applying this into the general area that I want it with my fingers, and then I'm going to go ahead and take my concealer brush. This is the Sephora Professional number 57 Airbrush Concealer, and I'm just going to buff that in. Now I'm going to move on to the redness around my nose and just any blemishes, and for that I'm going to be using Benefit's Erase Paste with a Sigma E25, and this is just their version of the MAC 217, so whatever you have will work. So I have a little bit of the product on the tip of the brush, and I'm just going to start just tapping and then swirling motions. For a blemish, I just like to tap right on the blemish, and then just slowly and gently, without putting hardly any pressure on the brush at all, and just blend it out into the rest of my skin. Now that my concealer is done, I'm going to move on to one of my most favorite products. I think I just mentioned this in passing in a favorites video, but it has become something that I use every single day and wouldn't want to go without, and that's the Tarantino I Dream Hyperlight Under Eye Brightener. So I click it up twice, and then I kind of look down into my mirror a little bit so I can see exactly where the circles underneath my eye are. And I make sure to come inside the circle because I don't want to put it on this skin that's already bright. I want to keep it in just on the darkness right there. And I like it to bring it just in a little bit into this darkness that I have right here. Now I'm just going to take my ring finger and just gently pat that in. And I put a little bit extra product than I actually need because when I get this done, I like to take my finger and then just start running it right here on the back of my cheekbones, and this acts as just a wonderful natural highlight. Now the Smashbox BB cream really dries to a powder finish, so I don't feel like a normal person would have to set it. It's a very comfortable finish. But since I am so oily and I just know in a few hours I'm going to be oily, I'm just going to take a little bit of a finishing powder and only put it in the T-zone. I want to leave my cheeks and the outer part of my face clean of that because I like the finish that the BB cream gives. For my finishing powder, I'm going to use just a little sample I have of the Tarte Smooth Operator Clay Finishing Powder. And I'm going to apply that with a fluffy brush. This one I'm using is the Tarantino number 12 powder brush. So just going to apply this in a patting motion just right in my T-zone and nowhere else. Next I'm going to move on to just a light contour that I do try to do most days. Sometimes I get lazy and this is the first to go, but I do like the effect this gives my skin. I'm going to be using NYX's Blush in Taupe with a Real Techniques contour brush. So I just place the brush in the hollow right underneath my cheekbone and just sweep it in. And then once I have the placement, I'll just go in little swirling motions just to buff it in so it looks natural. Anything that's left over on the brush, I like to bring just on the top of my jaw. The last thing I'm going to do is just quickly fill in my eyebrows. I'm actually using a new to me product. I've only used it once before. This is Maybelline's Master Shape, and it has a spoolie on one end and then the other end looks like a pencil, but it's very waxy. So I'm just going to quickly apply this. I have heard that this is really weird to sharpen because while it looks like a pencil, it's plastic and that's the only way it doesn't twist up. So I'll have to see how that is. If you have any experience with that, let me know. So just going to lightly fill in any bare spots. I don't know if I mentioned, but I got the shade Auburn. Now I'm just going to use the spoolie just to blend in the tinted wax. Okay, so I'm basically done with the foundation part. Now I'm just going to go ahead and add my blush and finish up with my eye makeup and lips, and I'll be right back. So once I had finished my eyes and my cheeks, I went back and just did a couple more sprays of the Urban Decay D-Slick. I know people either love this or hate this. Really, for me, I find it makes a huge difference and really helps my makeup last all day. And really quick, just two other products. For long-wearing eyeshadow, I think the best eyeshadow primer for longevity that I found is the NARS Pro Prime Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Primer. This really, no matter, even eyeshadows that are not my favorite because I find they crease, or cream shadows that tend to crease on me, if I use this underneath, I have no trouble. And the one last thing, this is just my little sample size, my full size is in my purse. This is the Too Faced Lip Insurance, and I use this underneath all my lipsticks or lip glosses, whatever I'm going to wear that night. It fills in the lines on my lips and also helps me get a long wear time on all my lip products. So I think that's everything. If you have any questions, I really love the Smashbox BB cream. I've been really pleased with that, and I've had it since January and I still have some left, so it's not running out super quickly. So I will definitely be repurchasing once I do run out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.